This whole time I thought I was streaming, but it turns out OBS, I think I had changed the setting last time I streamed that it needed to have an approval or something, and now it doesn't. Yay! Okay. I was actually, I was like chatting with myself for like at least 10 minutes. Going like, oh man, life's great. I know what I'm doing. Everything's fun. How's everyone doing? You know, that sort of stuff. And it turns out I was talking to myself like an idiot. These things happen. Alright, let's, so, I'm working on a Bible app, which some people are like, you know, Bible's boring, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure some people have that opinion, but that's okay, because you can focus on the tech stack. You don't need to worry about it being a Bible or not, unless like you follow a religion that like you're not allowed to read the Bible or something. I don't know, like if you're like a 16th century Catholic or something. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Catholic friends. Coffee. That's what I needed. Alright, so I'm not going to go through like how does Flutter work, because honestly I don't know. I don't even know that I care that much. Right? Like when you get a tool, you're not like, hey, how does the drill like spin the drill so it like bores a hole or like drives a screw or something. You don't have to know. Well, I mean, like the manual ones, obviously you just twist. I get that. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm treating Flutter. It's so Dart is kind of like it's somewhere in between. I would say maybe like C++ and JavaScript. Like there's certainly I'm gonna say, how would you describe it? Like a certain looseness to the language, but it's not like super loose. I know that recent like C++ has the has like data types that I guess let the compiler dynamically choose the type it is as you get in there, you know, something like that. So I don't know. It's maybe close to C++ in the case, but it organizes pretty well. There's certainly, I still don't know how to do tests. So like here they've got like an example, but it's not super clear to me the implications of like this test or what is like a good Flutter test. Now I certainly understand like testing apps and mobile apps from like a React Native perspective, but that's like most of that information will transfer. I guess some of it is I just need to know like what is like reasonable to test, especially because like in a language that's type safe, all of a sudden like there's a range of tests that I don't need to worry about anymore. So yeah, I don't know. Also, this test would totally fail, I think. Let's double check. Yeah. So at one point, I was going to base this on the New American Standard translation of the Bible, which I don't know, maybe some people are into. But then I probably still will, but I've been like kind of removing references to it being like specifically New American Standard, and just turning this into a Flutter Bible app. With maybe the hope being that I can just like kind of plug in a bunch of translations and it all just sort of works. Cool. Now, also for this, so a material app has a title, but then like I guess nested things have a title as well. So I'm not like 100% sure like when this title gets used versus some like inner route. We'll figure all this stuff out though as we go. Oh, looks like a human has joined. Hello, human. Human from Twitch. Which human are you? one thing is I don't get a lot of feedback from Restreamer about who is joining. I see a Wolfgang and a Soup Dizzle. Hello, gentlemen. Let's see, let's close that up. All right, so probably there's going to be like a couple things I want to try and tackle today. I guess maybe we'll poke around here. So we've got like this main page, which for now is mostly empty. I don't know what I want it to be, like this initial page. But one thing is we've got all the books of the Bible in here. You can kind of take your pick. We'll go with Malachi, or as they like to joke about in Bible college, Malachi, the Italian prophet, which of course is wrong, but you know. Okay, so each chapter is kind of one big scroll view, and then you can swipe left and right to swap in between chapters. You know, not too bad. And this, like, obviously the spacing is kind of silly, and there's some alignment things. So maybe what we'll do first is we'll touch up this drawer, because the drawer won't require too much context. Not that anyone needs context. You're not here to learn Flutter. You're just here to watch me struggle through it. Unless you are here to learn it, in which case this is probably the worst place to learn it. Whoops. So I've divided up my code into a few places. So I have components, and those are kind of like hopefully reusable things. We'll see. I've got my drawer, which kind of has a couple components in it. So there's sort of, I'm gonna say, like analogs or like parallels to React Native, that sort of stuff. So there's certainly, you can have stateful widgets, and these are actually they're kind of composed of two classes. There's the stateful widget class here, and then there's also a state that extends the widget. So the state is actually the thing that like handles the rendering in this case. There's also I think the main is, yeah, there we go, a stateless widget. And a stateless widget really only has to provide the build. And then obviously, because we have like kind of roots in C, there has to be a main function that just like kicks it off. So a run app is very much like a, you know, like React Native or like React Mount, things like that. Anyway, so right now I've got two routes. I've got the main one that's empty, and then I have a Bible route. And these are all like navigatable. I like navigable because it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, but it also seems like I don't know how to speak English, so I don't know. But anyway, so these routes are really just like basic wrappers. So for instance, main like doesn't really need to do anything other than pass around a reference to the Bible into whatever layout it runs. So the layout is more like a page, whereas a route is just like a it's just a route. And at some point I'll probably reorganize these routes into like a folder structure that analogs their route names. So for instance, this route name is just / it's the root, and then the Bible route is Bible / read, but it has like get parameters, if that's what you want to call them, which is we specify which book of the Bible, which chapter of the Bible. Now, we may even get down at some point to having like a verse, so like auto scrolls, right? So yeah, like verse 1, verse 2. I'm not sure how well my superscript numbers are going to show up through the stream, just because they're pretty tiny. But I think, I mean, it says that I haven't dropped any frames, and I'm running at like about 50 frames per second, and I think I'm doing 1080p, so that should be pretty visible. If it's not, someone let me know. Anyway, So I might, because I can sort of, I think, figure out where these are, I might be able to do some math and then kind of scroll to the right area. Yeah. So anyway, so those are routes. Layouts, so the main layout's pretty boring. It's just a stateless widget. And right now just, you know, sets up whatever, oh, we can get rid of that now. And then just has like the text like, hey, it's my Bible app, until I figure out maybe how this should function. Like there's a bunch of features that I want to put in this app that aren't just like simply reading the Bible, so I'm curious how this page will evolve in the future. So we'll find out. The book layout though is maybe more interesting. We'll see. So this is like where you open up a book and then you scroll to the right chapter. So for instance, so this is going to look kind of familiar. Maybe if you're like accustomed to React. Certainly not if you're accustomed to like Hyperwrap or Elm or those variants. But certainly like class style components in React. So each of these states has like a bunch of variables that are stateful, right? And then inside a set state you can change those. And all that set state really is saying like, by the way, I need to notify something up the chain that I've modified my own state, right? So you could do anything inside a set state. But it's most advantageous to update one of your state values. Oh, by the way, so in Dart, the this dot is optional, so it can be a little, I don't know, a little weird to read, but if anyone's watching and they've got questions about what's going on, just ask, and you know, we'll make it work. Also, apparently a guy named Matt liked my tweet. I don't know why. Sometimes I get like people that I think must be like maybe searching Twitter for like the keyword Twitch, and then they retweet and like the tweets in spite of like them maybe not having any sort of major affiliation. Sorry, I got a bit of humidity in this room that I'm trying to squeeze out with some air conditioning. Hopefully that's not too loud. If it is too loud, please let me know. Okay, so we got I don't know, most of this, and then there's like async await, so very similar to JavaScript. So initially, like when I go to load a book, I will undo that book and the chapter count. So I have a the way that my data set is. Let's see, do I have SQL? Yeah, I do. Cool. So maybe we'll pop open the database. This won't be the actual final data structure by any means. In fact, so I was in contact with the publisher of the New American Standard Bible, which is probably my preference for what I want the app to mainly be running. I've got reasons for that. If you're interested in like Bible translation trivia, I guess I can answer some of that. I'm not an expert by any means, but I can certainly answer a couple things. All right, so let me just close so much of that. All right, so we've got like books, verses, and info. So info is mostly just like data on this particular translation. So this says that it's the New American Standard Bible, but I know for a fact that this isn't, or if it is, it's an old copy. Like 95 is pretty old. And they have been updating. In fact, I think the latest update is one that was done this year. Yeah. And I believe this data set was created for an app called like, I think it's called eSword or something like that. It doesn't matter. But what sort of frustrating is there's a lot of data I don't care about. So for instance, like here they have like book colors, but it's like, I mean, I guess there's some categorization, like there's the Torah, right? And then they've got some, I'm gonna call these like the, maybe, I don't know what you would categorize that as. Anyway, it totally doesn't matter. I don't need to impress anyone with my random biblical knowledge. By the way, I used to go to Bible college, studied to be a pastor, and then I decided I hated that, and now I'm a software developer. So, yeah. Doesn't mean that I hate anything about Christianity, just pastoring wasn't my deal. Anyway, yeah, so there's data sets. That's a really long way of saying there's data sets on here that I don't care about. And then we got verses, so that like corresponds to a book and a chapter and a verse. But then each of these verses has some like, I guess I'll call it HTML for a lack of better description. It's obviously like very poor man's XML, where as far as I can tell, PB is a paragraph break, S is a Strong's concordance number. So if you're not familiar, okay, so I'll try and give the brief, least frustrating thing to hear version of biblical history. So obviously the Bible is way back in the day, like Hebrew and Greek, and then more Greek. Yeah. And anyway, so when they translate the Bible, especially from Hebrew, Hebrew is a language that requires a lot of like context. Like you infer a lot of things. So in fact, I believe they don't have vowels. So two words can look exactly the same, and you just know which word it is by the context of the thing that you're reading. So anyway, that's a long way of saying that when they get, let's say, like a 4-character word, in one context it translates to this thing, in another context it translates as another thing. So for instance here, beginning, I don't know what the word is off the top of my head in Hebrew for that, but it translates to word number 7225, and if you look that up in a concordance, which is kind of like a dictionary, it'll like list out like in this set of verses and these books it was translated as this word, and in these ones it was translated as that word, and here's the reasons why. Yeah, so anyway, that's what the S is the Strong's number, and I don't know, there's more of these tags, and I don't know what all of them are. Actually, let's see. Can I do let's do like a select. Oh jeez. Oh man. Select like text from verses where text like, and we'll just say I think I've seen T before. Yeah, we'll just do like 100. We don't need too many. But yeah, so there's like a T and a T. Oh jeez. I was kind of hoping these would be easier to spot. There we go. So we got a T here, and the T represents, I'm sort of thinking italics, but I don't have any context of it, because again, this is like meant for a very particular Bible app, and it knows what to do with these like tags. So there's that. There's also a J. Now at least the J was really easy to determine. So in a lot of Bibles, if you're not familiar, there's like, if you go into a bookstore, there's a certain subset of Bibles that are like red letter Bibles, and all that really means is the text of Jesus is specifically in red, and there's maybe a lot of historical reasons for why that is. But anyway, so that's like another tag that I need to figure out what I want to do with. And on top of it, I need to do it in Flutter, which I don't really know entirely how to handle that yet. So I did the fun solution, which is you know, do the thing that works and then make it better later, which is just like strip all the tags out, and then basically like I determine if it's a new paragraph if the verse starts with a paragraph break. But there's some like challenges with that too, because there can be a paragraph break in the middle of a verse, and that sort of sucks too. So at some point I need to properly split this up. And I guess maybe as one more going off the rails a little bit, I was working on like a Bible verse formatter, and I just haven't gotten very far on it yet, because you know, every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, but what if this, what if that, and then I like stop and go, okay, I need to think about this some more. So I've got some thoughts, but that's sort of it so far. All right. So what we're going to work on is the drawer. So right now the drawer looks like this, which isn't awful, but could be way better. So we've got the one that's specifically the Bible drawer. So what it does is I have a Bible service, and what all this does is it like queries my database. So I have just a SQLite database, as we are kind of peeking at here, and I just import it into the app when it gets installed. So anyway, yeah, there's like an open thing, and we just, you know, if it's already open, then just use it, and if it's not, then build it appropriately. And the way this works is it actually like takes the asset thing and then copies it into a database thing, like a database folder, with the intention being that maybe at some point I update this with like different translations or something like that. We'll see. There's some like generic search things, but ultimately I have like, for instance, for books, I've got like some things. So like from a SQL result, I kind of turn that into the class, or given a verse, look up the book. And some of these I kind of built ahead of time, like I probably shouldn't have, because now I've got a bunch of code complexity that it's tested by like manually trying the things that I'm using, but I'm sure there's code in there that doesn't work that's gonna bite me in the ass later. We'll see. But alright, so that's enough of that. Building the Bible drawer. So one thing I noticed is that I can't just make a custom component and dump it wherever I want. So for instance, if I go to this will be the book layout. So we just scroll down. So Dart is like, I guess you'd call it strongly typed. Like it's certainly dynamic about it, but it's pretty strict. So for instance here, as part of the scaffolding for like the material app structure that it provides, there is a drawer, and a drawer has to be of type drawer. You can't just put in whatever you want there. So the way I got around that is, like, for instance, yeah, that's this one here. So build drawer. I have like a build Bible drawer, which is like a separate thing that I haven't fully flushed out yet. But yeah, I just made it intentionally return a drawer. I got this layout thing, which just kind of like says, oh, this is a drawer, and center it, and whatever. But then once I'm inside that, then I can start using custom components the way I'd expect. So I guess this is sort of between these two, like examples of just like functional widgets, which are for the most part exactly like a class that is stateless. And I think the reason that you would choose one or the other is depending on how you want to like handle and process props that you pass around. So yeah, and these work just like virtual DOM nodes. So like every re-render, it's building up a new set of classes in a hierarchy, and then something reads that and distributes that into like Android or iOS or whatever. So anyway, let's make this a little better. So I'm gonna close the book layout for now. And so we have a book list, and that is just a list with children. So let's look up list view. So list view kind of works the way that you expect, especially like coming from React Native, where you can, I think, has like a list view component as well. So you just pass it a list of widgets. So in this case, each widget is built from this this list generator, which returns a bunch of flat buttons. And flat buttons, I believe we can style a little bit too. So we'll get to that in a second. Actually, we'll be getting to that now. So I guess we don't need list view unless there's some sort of like spacing properties. By the way, there's properties here, and they're tough for me to read, so I apologize if they're difficult to read through this. But what makes things a little easier is we can open up the list view constructor, and at least like it kind of separates out a lot of the data, so it's a little easier to read. So let's see, there's something called like primary. So we'll just go back to this for a second to scroll down to, normally they have like, there we go, list of properties here, and they'll kind of like give you some like better detail on what each thing is. So for instance, primary, whether this is the primary scroll view associated with the parent primary scroll controller. Alright, so I don't know what that is. I don't have a primary scroll controller, and I don't think I should. So I'm going to go with that. Whether the extent of the scroll view and scroll duration should be determined by the contents being viewed. If the scroll view does not shrink wrap, then the scroll view will expand to the maximum allowed size. Well, yeah, I want it to expand out, so that seems fine. Let's see, what else do we have? Center, first child, and the growth direction, forward growth direction. I don't even know what that means. Cache extent, Okay, so if we look over here for a second again, so we can see like there's certainly a lot of spacing going on here. So maybe what we can do first is, let's see if we can't make these flat buttons just a little, oops, like a little tighter. We can't tell it to lose weight, we can just like tighter. So it does look like it accepts a padding. So does this support like a background color? Let's see, we got a color brightness, disabled color. Just looking for background. We got a highlight color. Material tap. Of course, all this text is like pretty awful to read. I also need to wear my glasses for this, but my glasses are sort of for distance, so when I'm this close to my screen, it actually messes my eyes up really bad. Oh, there's the mouse cursor. Oh yeah, so Flutter, you can build desktop apps too, which is kind of neat. Which is actually like some of the reason I picked this too, because I was interested in maybe building like this into a desktop and a tablet and just kind of like distribute that way. Alright, so it looks like there is a color, a splash color, a color brightness, visual density. What is a visual density? Oh, so it's the compactness. Okay, so visual density is actually sort of what I want. Oh, there's a shape border. Okay, well, let's just try putting some color on here and let's see what happens. So I'm just gonna pick, like I guess if there's a text color, then a separate color. Let's say this color is our normal background. So it looks like we can just do like a color constructor and pass it hex, or we can like build like a RGB, or what if there's an HSL? That would make Mr. Frank proud. Frankie, if you're watching this later, know that I was thinking about you. So let's see. So let's do color from. Okay, so there is not an HSL, but we can do RGB opacity. I don't know why they do AR RGB in that. Like they're like this seems like it's the same thing. I guess this one is an opacity of 0 to 1, whereas alpha is 0 to 20 or 255. So it's weird that there's both. I'm gonna go with the opacity. I kind of like having transparency as a float, but just call me old-fashioned, I guess, or something like that. Okay, so just for fun, we're gonna do 255 0 255 1.0, which, as everyone knows, is my favorite debug color. Unless you don't know that, in which case you wouldn't have any concept to think about that. So, oh, let's see, unimplemented handling of missing static target. Okay, I don't know what that means at all. So let's just do a hard reload. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, now we have a lot more context about how these buttons are aligned. So let's see what we can do to make these buttons a little less intense. So that visual density certainly seems like a good option. So I'm going to see if I can find maybe like the default values for that. There's visual density down here, so we'll just have to scroll there. Sometimes it's easy to find the defaults, and other times it's not. So it defines how compact the button layout will be. Doesn't help me. Alright. And there's padding, the internal padding for the button's child. I mean, we could certainly do that one first. That'll be nice and easy. Let's do padding. This will be edge, insets. We'll say all, and we'll set them to like 1.0 for now. Okay, and let's hot reload that. Didn't seem to do any change. Let's do a hard, like full reload there, just in case. Okay, so I don't think padding is necessarily our thing, but maybe we'll try out the 0 just to see. No dice. Okay, so padding isn't the problem. It's definitely visual density. Alright, so we're going to do that, and let me just see is so visual density dot compacts. There's some like hopefully some sane defaults in here. Okay, so that's a little better. Let's just see what other things we have. So there's adaptive, comfortable, standard, maximum, minimum. Let's go with that. This doesn't have to be. Oh, I see. That's that is for a different thing. Okay, so let's comment this out for a second. I'm gonna do visual density dot. Come on. Sometimes IntelliSense and Vim is a bit of a thing. Okay, so let's do. Oh, there we go. We can just pass horizontal and vertical. We're gonna do. Oops. Horizontal, visual density, minimum, and vertical. Alright, so it doesn't like it doesn't like that at all. Extra positional arguments, too many positional arguments. Oh, yeah, don't. So named arguments, when you define them, have like almost like the JSON object description brace thing going on, but when you actually call it, you don't need that. So these things are hard to keep track of sometimes. There you go. So that's better. You can still kind of see where the button ends, and there's certainly like some like alignment. Like I'd expect that text to be centered. So let's see if we can't find a way to align our text. And there's like enable feedback. We got some clip behavior. Highlight change, mouse cursor. You got so many things in here. Now you got other things like a raise button. Actually, does this inherit from anything? Okay, so not super clear on that. Alright, let's go back to the constructor and we'll see if there is something that we can do about that. Alright, so there's like the child for text, there's on press, on long press, on highlight changed, on text theme. Well, I mean, let's check that out. Maybe there's something about that. Button text is black or white depending on the brightness. Primary button is based on the primary color. Alright, so that doesn't really help me. Oh, you know what? I think there. I remember this. So for reasons that I haven't quite fully determined, the books, when I load them up, have like almost like an end character on them, and if we trim it, then it should be better. So, hey, there we go. Okay, so that's already like much tighter. Now, the list, I don't like that there's like so much gap in between these. Now, obviously, I want to avoid like fat fingering, but I think we can probably reduce this. So let's go into list view. I'm guessing there's got to be some sort of like item spacing in here. Let's see. There's padding, but padding seems like that would be the wrong thing, which maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Padding, so the amount of space by which to inset the children. Maybe this is the right one. So we're going to try putting padding to 0 on the list view. Let's see. Edge insets. I'm going to say 0. Hey, that's convenient. Let's roll with that and do the old refresh. Oh, so that pulled it up, which was also another problem that I had. But we still have a lot of space in between. And maybe that's something that I can't fix, but it seems like something that should be fixable. Unless I'm crazy, which I could be. Well, I mean, in the relative position of the 0 scroll, I don't think that's it. I don't think center is the thing that we want. Huh. And so this might inherit from something as well. Oh, there we go. So we got box scroll view, so let's check that out. Maybe there's something in here that we can use. I mean, I'd like to think that it would list out the properties still, but maybe not. Well, there's also list view separated. What's a list view separated? Here it's a fixed length scrollable linear array appropriate for list views with large number of items and a separate. Oh, okay, I see. So this is like when you want to have a separator between each item. So if that's the case, I'm sort of curious. Oh, okay, there you go. So you got like a separator builder. Interesting. Okay, so from box scroll view, let's see what we have here. There's got to be something reasonable. Hey, Rufus. Sorry, my dog was sniffing my foot. Now he's kind of like wandering, looking hurt that I didn't pet him. Dogs. Okay, so I'm still not seeing really anything there specifically. Let's just do a little Google. Let's do Flutter list view space between items. Okay, so I don't want to evenly space them. I want to squish them. Add spacing parameter to row column for custom spacing. Oh, I need some more coffee too. Coffee, coffee, coffee. I should really get sponsored by Kicking Horse. I drink so much of their coffee. So much. Their social media presence is pretty weak, though. I mean, mine is too, I guess. I just tweet because I want people to show up to my live streams, so I don't know. Oh, let's see. We got column spacer. Let's see. So we got children. Insets only bottom spacing with a cross. Oh, well, that's a column, so that's not really what I want. And this is like, yeah, this isn't really a list view thing. A sliver list. What's a sliver list? Is there a a similar manner, but without scrolling. Okay, so that isn't really what I want either. Although it could be. So I don't really want this to be scrollable. I want the entire scroll bar, or sorry, scroll bar, the entire drawer to be that way. But okay, so I'm already getting the impression that flat button might actually be my problem again. All right, so let's just see flat button class. Like, I wonder if there's some, so outside of padding, if there's maybe some sort of margin being applied. And certainly visual density was part of the problem. But there's a couple things I think that need to be solved. So like the text, I guess we need to push it all the way to the left. And I don't know, maybe that's the best we can do for now. Like, this isn't awful, and I think once I group these by like Old and New Testament and let you kind of expand those as you go, maybe it won't be too bad. Also, let me see if I can find a way to share my phone screen. So basically the reason I started building this app is I found in an app called like the Literal Word Bible, which is like a pretty minimalistic Bible app. But it's like, it's organized really well, but it just doesn't do a lot of the things that I care about. And yeah, so yeah, I can't figure out what the easiest way for me to just share my screen on here. But anyway, they have a nice like thing where they have like an accordion for Old Testament, and then it just shows Old Testament and New Testament, just shows New Testament. So I wouldn't mind looking into that too. But all right, so I think what we'll do, at least for now, is we're going to try and like style these a little bit. So we're going to do a text style, not to be confused with a textile. Text style. So let's do a font size, and I don't know, let's go with 12. So this is more like the EM units than it is like pixels. But it is pixels. I don't know. But that's not too bad. I think we can go down to maybe a 10. It's also tough to say because like let me just like compare the size of this to my actual phone. Like, my actual phone size is something maybe more akin to, yeah, that's actually about spot on. Oh geez, 10 might be too small. Okay, let's go back up to 12. A lot of this will be, I think, just like fiddling and making it work. But yeah, a nice thing about Flutter is, so Flutter does support like hot like update and hot yeah, like that was a hot reload, and then there's hot restart, I guess. So hot reload works the way you would expect it to, and hot restart is like reruns the app, but you have to like manually do those things. There's not like a do it on save, which is kind of nice because sometimes the changes that you're working on are you have to do like a multi-step change, and you don't want the app to keep reloading with that. So yeah. Okay, so I'm happy with that sizing. Let's see if maybe we can get a align this to the left, and then we'll get rid of the awful purple color, which I love torturing everyone with. Having people have to like look at these awful colors does give me great pleasure and amusement. But oh, that's interesting. I just when I like come in here, sometimes it pulls that down. Anyway, but anyway, I do want to make this look better. So let's do that. So with text styling, I'm gonna have to open up the constructor here. So we want to align to the left. So let's see. We got text baseline, text decoration. Huh. Wait, does Does the flat button only let me do like center aligned? It really doesn't help that I don't know if it's just like Linux font rendering, which it could be, but like this just, it reads awfully, and I've got like a little bit of dyslexia going on too, so that doesn't help either. Ugh. Okay, so I don't think this is actually what I want. Let's I wonder if text just supports like an on press, and if we can just use that. Oh, there is an on. Okay, so that's not really what I want. Is there on press? Alright, well let's just see like Flutter unstyled button left aligned text. We'll see what we got. A full width button, how to align text. Sure. Oh, apparently text supports just something called text align. Am I blind? So I certainly don't see that here. Well, let's see if we get autocomplete on it. Huh. Oh, you know what? I think this... Oh, this is from Dart HTML, that's why. Text from widgets. There we go. That's better. Man, that would have been helpful. Okay, so let's do left aligned. Wait, does that mean that there might be some like padding or something applied here too? Alright. So, what's the problem here? Type string can't be assigned to... Oh, I see. It needs to be like a text align dot start. Okay, and what else do we have here? We've got a, I don't know what a strut style is. So let's take minimum height align can be relative to baseline. Okay, that sounds way too fancy for me. We don't want any soft wrapping, so let's do a soft wrap. No. And a text. Oh, sorry, this would be overflow. Text overflow dot ellipsis. And what else do we have here? Semantics label. I think that has something to do with screen readers, but I'm not entirely sure. Text scale factor. Don't want to mess around with that. Well, let's see what we got now that we've done all that other style here. So let's refresh that. Apparently no change, so let's forcibly reload this. Okay, so clearly this did nothing for us, which kind of sucks. Now here's someone saying like inside the flat button they use a sized box. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So yeah, what they kind of did is forced in a full width inside the flat button, then they're able to align it. Okay. So let's do that. So this will be a sized box, and that's a single child thing. So we'll just do a single child right here, and cool. Yeah, I find that these components don't read as well as like a hyperwrap H or anything like that, but it's not awful. Certainly not my cup of tea. Alright, so inside size box we're going to do width. It's going to be double dot infinity. Huh. So I guess that's just like take up as much space, and if it's like left aligned it technically doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that. I wonder if there's like oh, there is this a material button. What's a material button in comparison to what I'm using? Material butt. there's like a raw material button. So I'm guessing there's like a larger chain of hierarchy of like how buttons actually work. But so this one's a utility class. It'll expand, so that's good. Yeah, I'm feeling that over. Oh, I see. That was this was the shitty. Oh, that's that one didn't work. This is a shitty fix. Okay, so it's always centered. So they do that. And this guy's like, oh, just use material button instead. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like if I like that. Also, I don't get this because it's still centered. So yeah, and like this guy even agrees. So I'm gonna upvote that. Well, maybe we'll take back that upvote in a second. Let's see if this is the right answer. So instead of a flat button, which I'm totally okay not using, let's do a material button. And yeah, we'll just get rid of this color while we're at it. I'm guessing it still supports visual density because that's not being highlighted at all. And we're instead of the size box, we're going to do alignment inside. Oops, let's make that better. Let's get rid of that stuff that doesn't work. And let's also bring this in. This is complaining because the argument type alignment can't be assigned to the parameter type widget. Okay, why not? Oh, that's just align, I see. Yeah, and then we have alignment in there, and that'll be alignment dot center left, I guess. That does make sense. Cool. Let's see what sort of disaster we've made in here. I don't know. Okay, that's better. I mean, there's still a lot of space that I'm not super happy about, but maybe with material button, maybe we have a little bit more control over that as well. So let's just jump into here and see. We've got like the on press stuff as expected. Got some color stuff, brightness stuff, padding, but this padding like doesn't seem like it's the right thing, and I believe we did. Oh, we got rid of it. Well, let's bring it back just in case. Let's do padding edge insets 0, and there is a border shape which maybe is contributing something. Like maybe if we can specify specifically a 0 border. But maybe not. I mean, this doesn't really look like it's going to be what I want. So, okay. We'll bail from that for now. Alright, so keeping going. Material tap target size. That could also be a bit of a thing. Not really. This is just like some prefab sort of stuff. Well, I mean, I guess maybe the easiest way that we can do this is if I temporarily comment this out and just replace it with just the text. Just the text, just to see how it feels. But without child in there. I think we passed. Oh yeah, right. This needs to be like. Ugh. Let's try this again. Let's be index. Ugh. Index. Text. Cool. So basically, what I want to try and figure out is if the spacing here is because of the fact that we're using a button or not. So let's just do a softer load. Okay, it totally is. So that's cool. So let's clear this out again. Reload that, and now let's I mean, the tap size target, I guess, sort of seems like this is certainly a thing, but it's not super clear to me how to use that at all. And maybe this is just the nature of the beast. Now there is a height, vertical extent of the button, but I don't think that has anything to do with the tap target size. Some of the impacted. Oh, okay, so this is just saying this isn't the. I don't understand how to see the values of this. Like, there's constants here. Are these the things? Is it padded? So that expands the minimum tap target size to 48 by 48. Oh, okay. So we want shrink wrap. I think that's what we want. So let's give that a shot. So I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna get rid of padding because I don't think that is truly the thing that I want, but I do think we want material tap target size, and we're gonna try material tap shrink wrap. Alright, I got a good feeling about this. Oh yeah, that's tight. Alright, and then I also need to decide whether or not I want this to disappear right away. But anyway, now we've got, I don't know, pretty good progress here. Okay, and then visual density obviously isn't really correct yet. Ugh. Yeah, so we'll say like adaptive. Let's see if that gives us like a same thing. Not really. Well, I guess that might be based on pixel density, and that's not really what we want. So let's go with compact again. So it still has like some spacing, but yeah, it feels like a pretty reasonable list. Like it's very much readable. Yeah. Now one thing is, like, this doesn't have a lot of information yet on there, so I'm wondering if I add bookmarks, if there's going to be like a nice way to maybe like list that somehow. We'll see. Okay, so now that we have that categorized, so right now we're doing a list view that's like scrollable, and there's that other list view that was intentionally, it didn't provide the scrolling behavior, and I think that's what I want. Oh, and this will be kind of cool because then you'll see like what happens when you overflow your stuff. Okay, so let's just find where that was. Just looking for the list of scrolling widgets. Okay, that just that's took me back. Okay, maybe we'll just take the list in here and we'll see what we get. Maybe, was it list body or something like that? Yeah. Yay. Okay, so widget, so it builds it up like a list but just doesn't provide scrolling. So let's see what happens. As far as I'm currently concerned, this should probably produce like mostly the same thing. So I'm gonna save that, and if we reload here, so it should hopefully, nope. What do we got here? That is a large stack trace. Must have unlimited space along its main axis. Does not clip or resize its children. You probably want to put renderless body inside a render viewport with a matching main axis. Okay, so I think this is complaining about the overflow that I sort of wanted it to do. I wonder if I just hard reload it, if it's going to just like work and just do the thing I want it to. Nope. Okay, well, that's perfectly fine, because we can just implement the scroll around this. We've got a column, and inside our column, yeah, I got someone trying to call me. They can call me later if it's important. Let's see. So where is our book list? Okay. So here, I think we can do a scroll view with a child. Nope. Child isn't defined. All right. Well, let's. Pretty sure there was a scroll view. And let's open up the constructor. So there's a scroll controller that we're going to have to deal with. And wait, does this not take children? Am I blind? Alright, let's go back to list view, and we're just gonna search this for scroll view. Yeah, just I wanted to show me some things in this main thing. Transitioning from that one. Oh, here's the list that I wanted. So let's see, because I'm guessing that scroll view isn't what single child scroll view. That's what I want. I've used this before. Yeah, it's expecting child. I think this is gonna maybe do what we want. Let's see. Come on, big money, no whammies. Yay! Now that all scrolls, but the nice thing about it completely scrolling is it's not limited to that body scrolling. In fact, there's a part of me that wonders if inside this column thing, if this should just be like a multi-child scroll view, but I'm not sure. Because even here, this is not really what I want. Okay, so inside layout, so we do this like column children stuff, so we'll just let autocomplete take care of some of this for me, or not. Let's do that just so it's clear what we're piping in there. And then inside this, I think is where we want like a scroll view. I wonder what the difference between a scroll view and a box scroll view is. It's weird that this isn't listed. So a scroll view that uses a single child layout model. Well, that's not really what I want. I want multiple children. Ugh. Okay, so let's so I don't want page view. It's kind of weird that it lists out like a bunch of things that aren't really what I'm after. Catalog of layout widgets. Sure, let's check that out. So we want something that can scroll up and down with multiple things. Multi-child layout, that flow, so that's not quite it, but this feels, so there's list view, but I don't really want list view. I want maybe it is. I don't know. Okay, and then inside here we'll do children. It's going to be children. Which means down here that becomes one child. This just needs to be a child now. It doesn't need to be after a list view. So now if I refresh that, it does not like that at all. Do I need something more in list view? Like normally my editor at least gives me some feedback if I'm missing something. You know what, I may not need column here either. Let's just get rid of that. Let's get rid of things that we're pretty sure we don't need, and just bring them in when we need them. So full reload, and it's going to add some white space there to make it a little easier to see when things go horribly wrong. As predicted, am I right? Let's see, so missing a size, axis direction down, needs compositing for viewport. Yeah. I just don't know why people are okay with this, right? Like having such like a long stack trace of things that probably aren't things that you care about. Render list body must have unlimited space along its main axis. I mean, doesn't it, sort of? I'm guessing list view doesn't do the thing that we expect still, so maybe we'll do single child list column. Let's do that. Single child scroll view, and then inside here this just becomes child. Inside this we can do column, and then just pass children on through. Yeah, let's give that a shot. Come on, big money, no whammies. Maybe column has some things that we can hook into though. So I believe it does support like a flex box like thing. So if I do flex 1, does that help? Nope. No named parameter flex. Alright, well, to the column docs. Alright, so displays its children in a vertical array, which is exactly what we want. And what I want is, what things does it accept? So, oh, right, it needs expanded, I think, around it. If it's expanded, then maybe we don't need that at all. Let's just become, no, we do. Okay, so we'll do a child. Sometimes I hate when I do this because like that is not readable. I find in fact these hierarchies to be not great to read, which is probably why they default to like 4 space. And I just really like 2 space, so I like fight against it, and that's always pretty gross. Alright, still doesn't like this, so I was really under the impression that this is the beginning. So the following assertions were made. Incorrect use of parent data widget. Wants to apply parent data of type flex parent data to a render object, which has been so to accept parent data of incompatible type parent data as the wrong ancestor. Okay. So I'm guessing it can't go directly into one of these. Well, let's look at some of the layout components again. Maybe there is a different component that we could use that is a better fit. I'm just gonna jump to the docs. These docs are like pretty good. They're not amazing, but they're like, I think they're better than the React Native docs. Alright, so we know we have multiple children in a row that we need as like kind of part of a list, but a list that can like dynamically be resized. So, like, yeah, I really got the impression that we need like list view with children. Like, that seems to make the most sense to me. Now, obviously, this is going to fail miserably, but we've got like the button, and then can we just like put the book list in here in general? Probably. Let's comment this piece out first though, and just see if we can get back to a green state. So we open that, so now we just have this one. So that's not too bad. Now let's see, can we add in a book list? We pass in our Bible database, and I'm just going to open that up, and we're going to do a hot reload. Okay, so now that works, and the title is now part of the scroll, which I think I want. I think I want. We'll find out. Cool. All right, so the problem was expanded inside our list view. Doesn't work the way that we expect. That's fine. All right, so for our book list, I would like to do some changes to this. So I want to do a final bool. Let's call this like show. I don't like that it's a boolean though. But basically, I want to like only show a list of like Old Testament versus New Testament books. Maybe this just boils down to like a. Can I do an enum? How do I do enums in Dart? Pretty sure my guess about it being something like it's probably right. This can probably just default to something. Yeah, let's go with that. So this will be something like that, and then we can do this dot testament like so. And what? Oh, yeah, it would help if I knew how to write code. Not a big deal. You don't need to write code when you're programming. That's for suckers. Okay, so I think we figured out enumerations without really Googling that, so that's cool. Alright, so we have our books. And so I think after we get our books, I think we want to do a filter. Let's see if there's going to be an easy way to do this. So the way I would do this is I would like get in the books and then do something like books dot fill. Is there a filter? Is there a dot like keep? No, dot drop. Man, lists are hard. Okay, let's do Dart list. Alright, and I would like to remove. Oh, there we go, remove. So, what do we get here? This is just remove a value. So that's not really what we want. Remove where. That seems pretty good. So, where length is 3, get rid of it. It looked like there's a retain where, which I'm guessing is just the opposite. Yeah, okay. So, let's do a books dot retain where, and then we can pass it in a book, and then decide what we want to do with it. So this is books retain where, and so we need to return a boolean from here. So we could do something like if testament dot Old Testament. Oh yeah, we only need a double equals as well. And like return book dot is Old Testament. Thought I had that boolean. Maybe not. Is it just Old Testament? Let's see. So book. We have a bunch of from static methods, which are real convenient. Oh, I must have gotten rid of the Old Testament, New Testament checks. We got chapters, verses. Okay, well. So we're going to say is Old Testament. This is going to be just, think, if we just look at the data here for books. So everything's got like, it's in tens, and that's just in case, like, let's say, you know, historically we find like a new book that like is supposed to be in the Bible, which might be a really opinionated thing. But anyway, so Malachi, or Malachi as I like to teasingly call it sometimes, is 460. So we know if the book number, so return, did I just call it number? Let's just do this dot book number. We'll get rid of this dot though. It's greater than or equal to 460. Now we know it's Old Testament. Inversely, we know is New Testament is 470 and above. So the reason I'm not just doing like not is Old Testament is just because, again, if there's, for reasons, we decide to put a new book in the Bible, which probably will never happen ever for any reason, then this will theoretically still work. We'll see. Alright, so this should be is Old Testament. Otherwise, it'll just be return book is New Testament. Cool, and this really feels the widgets dot. So this feels like a ternary at this point, so let's just simplify that. Don't need parentheses anymore. That's not too bad. I'm okay with that. Cool. So that'll split our books a little differently. And now the neat thing is, if we go back up to our drawer, and by our drawer I mean wherever we're actually rendering this list, which I feel like I'm blind. Okay, there we go. So here we could do, let's pop this up to, maybe this belongs in Bible. And the nice thing about that is, so we have like is old, is new, and in reality, after this we could do like Testament, return is Old Testament. So if it's the Old Testament, then I would just say Testament. And otherwise, we can, at least for the time being, make the assumption that is the New Testament. Again, that's not 100% accurate, but that's accurate enough for now. Doesn't matter. And let's see. So if we go back up here, and we're going to just say Testament is a New Testament dot Old Testament. And then we're going to do a New Testament. And let's add another like button here. Now we're just going to do a print show Old Testament. And this one is for showing the New Testament, obviously. So essentially what we want is like a collapsible thing that's going to be controlled by these buttons here, which means that this is already looking like it belongs kind of as its own like collapsible component. So we'll see. Let's reload that. We don't need the database up. There we go. So that's not too bad. And then, oops. We got Old Testament. We can scroll, get to New Testament. That's not too bad. I like that. I mean, other than I don't like that this is centered, but that can be fixed. In fact, so we have that other button code, and to me this seems like more of like a material text button. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, so we don't need database stuff open right now. So we can find a material button. There you go. So this thing here, I think we can turn into a button. So we are going to, I guess, make a stateless component. Why not? We can do it. We have the technology. Okay, so just up the top here, we're going to do import package flutter material. We're going to do a class material text button extends stateless widgets override. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that would do all the stuff for me. Let's just find build in here so I can be lazy. There we go. So it is widgets build context, something like that. Alright, and now I gotta recopy this because I was not smart when I did that. Okay, so we know on pressed is we're gonna have to pass it. So let's just do it on pressed here. We'll just like do the minimum things that we want to pass in, and then as that changes, then we'll deal with it. But for now, we'll just do this stuff. So we're gonna do final widget child, and we're gonna do a final. What is on pressed? What type does that represent? Void function. Void function on pressed. And then we need to do a constructor. This I think we're going to multi-line. So we need to set this child and this pressed. Is there anything else that we want? I guess we could do alignment. So do final alignment, and we could probably default that as well. So if we do this alignment equals alignment dots, and let's do, I guess, center for now, because that it does make sense as like a default, I think. I'm not sure. Huh. Anyway, so let's see. And then we also have this like visual density. I kind of like that. I kind of like this as my defaults. So this seems like a great thing. Okay, so let's open up my real estate here a little bit. Close some stuff. And now we could import. Oh, we're doing components, so we can do /material text button. And Where was that? I mean, basically anything that's one of these flat buttons can become that. So I guess we'll replace them all. Let's do material text button. Cool. And way down here as well. Good, I don't need that. Yay, so everything should just continue to work as expected. Let's refresh that, and this should look a little less intense now, which is good. So we also need like a divider here, just to be like this button here. But I guess this this Old Testament button might turn into a raised button. So if we just search like button here, looking for, okay, maybe we'll do raised. No. But material button. Oh, I'm in the wrong. I'm searching the wrong docs. Okay, let's try this again. Let's do button. Button bar, button theme, button. Raised button. There we go. So the raised button is like one of these, which might make more sense for at least the Old and New Testament buttons. So let's go up to those for the time being. Now this is obviously going to be a component test. I think we'll need to do that, but we'll get there. All right, so material text button, and we want a raised button. So let's just do raised button. I think most of that will just continue to work. Now, we might make a subclass similar to this called like material like raised text button or something like that. We'll see. Alright, and I'm gonna, I think we can just shrink this up a little bit. It should be fine, and we can kind of see the app for the most part too. Reload that. That's really intense. We can probably pad this out a little bit more too. Alright, and just for fun, let's hide the book list. The idea would be that it would be hidden until it's not. So just trying to make this a little more appealing. I mean, I could rename this to just buttons and just have like a list of like my custom buttons that I like. Maybe I'll do that. That seems like sort of the right thing. So let's go with buttons, and we're going to rename this file, which means there might be a compile issue now, because it'll have actually, I think as long as we do a hard reload, it won't matter. Nope, it matters. Alright, so buttons that Dart approves declaration. Oh, okay, yeah, so it just doesn't have the context that there's a different file. That's fine. Let this do its thing. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and do this one more time. Come on, big money, no whammies. Oh, really quiet chat today. Why are you guys so quiet? Guess I haven't really like had too many questions. How's everyone doing? There. Now you got a question. Now you don't have an excuse for being quiet. Alright, so let's see what we got here. So that's still looking okay. Let's change this to material raised text button. mouthful. So there we go. Over here, let's turn that into a. This is just a raise button. Still supports other things, so that's kind of neat. See, maybe this will sort of do what we want. Yeah, not too bad. Now let's see if we can add an icon to this. There's a raised button.icon constructor. Raised text icon button. We don't really have. Oops. There's not any variant in this case that wouldn't be that. Let's see, so that means that it's going to have to take an icon in as well, which is just a widget, which is also convenient. So let's do final widget icon. Oops, icon. This dot icon. And maybe we can default this to something as well. Ooh, what doesn't this like? Not allowed to have visual density in this. Create a filled button from a pairing of widgets that serve as the button's icon and label. Okay, so child just becomes a label. No visual density at all. So that might come back to bite me. We'll see. Also, let's get rid of comment code. Real quiet crowd. Let me see. Let me see how it is. Alright, and this, I guess, doesn't return a widget. Missing required param icons. Okay. Let's try method not found, material raised text button, text icon button. Yeah. A drawer 43. Method not found. Oh, probably because I don't have an icon here. That makes sense. Okay, so we're passing along child. So we'll rename that just to follow suit. So let's call this a label. In fact, I guess let's get rid of that text alignment stuff. I have a feeling like it'll just align the way we expect it to. And I think for icon we could do something just like container. I think we can do like an empty container. It should just work. Not happy with that. Let's see why. Oh, right. The stateless, you need to ensure that you always pass 100% of these arguments or default them. So it can be a bit of a thing. While we're waiting for that to go, I don't know if there are icon widget. I guess there is. Okay. So if we have an icons dot audio track. So where are my list of icons? Oh. Oh, look at that. So we want like arrow drop down. Yeah. Alright, and still can't build, so I've done something horribly wrong, which appears to be correct. So I'm gonna fix some stuff here. Alright, so let's pop the label in there, and let's just do an empty container for the icon for the time being. Although it does seem like I can do, you know, let's toss an icon in there. So we're going to do icon, and it looks like we can do icons dot drop arrow, I guess just arrow down. Let's go with that. Alright, so with that, let's see what happens. Come on, big money, no whammies. Oh, okay, there we go. I thought it crashed for a second. I was like, oh no. Okay, so let's open that. So that's not too bad, other than I expected the button to be on the other side. So let's go back to raised button class, and let's open up the icon one. I'm sure there's something that's just like which side the icon should be on. Let's see. Ironically, there isn't. However, since we can just kind of like put in like sort of whatever we want, I'm kind of curious if we can just like, I don't know, swap these two, see what happens. Alright, well, let's try it with the New Testament one. We'll see if that works as expected. It does. It's not quite what I want. Like, I guess I want New Testament on one side and the icon on the other. There's something about like spacing or anything like that. Ooh, there's like an animation too. Huh. Cool. Alright, well. So I think one thing for sure is we need a way to just swap these two easily. So let's just do enum icon side, and let's do left and right. And let's do final icon side, icon side, icon side, and we will default that to left because that is how it works currently. And we're just going to do something like left is going to be this dot icon side, icon side dot. So if the icon goes on the left, so if it's the default, then we know that left is going to be icon, otherwise it's going to be a label. And I'm also going to do right, which is going to be a label icon. Not a huge fan of this. This feels sort of wrong, but I mean, this code could be written way better as well. So anyway, let's go over here and do an icon side. It's going to be icon side dot right. And let's just give that a refresh. Cool. Now I'm guessing that there is also like an arrow up. I don't know. We'll find out. Well, thank you, Sebastian. That's true. Yeah, I mean, everyone got in the dark theme craze, and I was like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. I like the light theme, unless I'm like in a dark room. Then I want something dark just so my eyes don't have to like focus. So like programming at night, I need to have a light on or switch to dark, which luckily with Vim I can just do like background dark or something like that. And that's not too bad. But hi, welcome. I don't recognize your name, so I'm going to assume that I haven't met you before. So, hi, I'm Alex. Or Mr. Osberry. You know, I go by either. Oh, if it is hard to read, then... Is that any better? I haven't actually looked at my Dart code in dark mode before, so I don't know 100% how all the syntax highlighting is going to look, but... Yeah, not too bad, eh? Huh? Huh? Unfortunately, you showed up kind of close to the end of my stream. I time box myself these days to 2 hours, so I've got about like 20 some odd minutes left. So, I mean, I'm still going to be doing a little bit of coding for now. Yeah. Yeah, what time zone are you in, if you don't mind me asking? So I'm in Eastern Standard Time in North America, so I typically start around 2 p.m. Every other week. I used to be every week. I was finding that I was kind of digging into like my time with like my wife and my pets and stuff, so I was like, oh, well, if I do it every other week, then also kind of like gives me a little bit of build up too. But, let's see. Well, I think this might be time to do the like collapsible or the accordion, whatever you want to call it. Let's do accord. Oh man, accordion. I'm never quite sure if it's on or in at the end. So let's just do accordion. There we go. Accordion. That's what we're going with. Accordion.dart. Are you a developer or what's your background, Sebastian? Again, if you don't mind me asking, if you feel uncomfortable asking my questions, then oh, UTC +1. Yeah, I'm -5, so yeah, it's a little bit of a time drift. Ah, you love C#. Well, I guess if you can forgive me for a light theme, then I can forgive you for C#. Let's see, I think we want a state component, so I'm just going to copy some of my other state stuff so I can just be lazy. Yeah, I'm not, so my background is actually like C, C++, and then PHP, I guess, was like the next main one after that. Yeah, and C# I just never got into, but I guess it's like I did a little bit of Java, and I wasn't I wasn't really into Java at all. And I guess C# is probably like best described as better Java, but it's still like kind of in that vein, right? Yeah, well, I mean, like, I'm also a JavaScript developer primarily for work. So I work at a company called Vehicle, and we're like primarily like Laravel, PHP, and JavaScript. Yeah, and actually most of my streams are JavaScript too. And it just so happens that I wanted to get into Flutter this week. I was looking at some different like Bible phone apps, and the things that I wanted to be able to do on them I couldn't. So I was like, oh, I'll just build my own. See what happens. Let's get rid of some of this code. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay, so let's do percent bonus book. That's going to become. Oops. That's going to become accordion. Yay. Yeah, I guess if you want, I don't know that I have a particular favorite verse. I certainly have a set of like memorized verses, but I don't know if that coincides with favorites by any means. But sure, Hit me with your fave. Let's do string like event. Default that to. I guess we can't default it. I think we'll have to make a constructor. Oh man. Just so I gotta look this up. I haven't been in Romans for a little bit. My wife and I are right now going through John. Yeah, what is going on here? Oh geez, I need to activate old man mode. I'm not even that old, which is the worst part. One person has faith that he may eat all things. Oh, okay, yeah. Let me back up here. Sorry, I just need to see some context of this verse now. Being subjected to the government. Let's see. Tries to make no provision for the flesh in regards to its lust. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I guess like, huh. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know that I've like read that verse and put any thought into it. So that's interesting. Now I can make fun of vegetarians, I guess. Good old Paul. Real character. I think I can default that too. Let's just do string default. Yay. Alright, so let's not do anything there. Actually, I guess this could be a expand. Let's take in like widget dot default expanded. Ugh. I guess it's really a reference to the Bible either. Clean all this up. Yeah, like I don't know. I guess most of my go-to Bible verses are more salvation based, but yeah. Like I guess this other bit too is like kind of reflective of like Old Testament law, dietary restrictions, and even I think was it Peter gets rebuked for not wanting to eat pork or something to that extent. Classic Peter move, you know. All right, so let's see what do we need here. So we need a map of name to widgets. Yeah, let's go with that. So we're gonna say map string widget widgets. I'm kind of curious if this mapping is yeah, I don't know if that's gonna maintain an order or not, and if that's gonna be a problem. We'll find out, I guess. Let's see. So that means here we need a map string widgets accordion map. Let's go with that. And in that case, I think we can just do I think we can do that. And then I think that is a final. I don't think there'd be much use for it not to be. Yeah. Cool. So we got opened. Sort of don't want to have a default opened either. I don't think I have any use for that yet. So let's pull that up, and we're just going to do open. This is going to be section key. And then we have access to the key, so we can do something like first if widget accordion map. Can I say like contains keys. Oh yeah, contains key. Yeah, we're going to do section key. So if it doesn't have that section key, then there's nothing you can do, so we can just bail early. If it does have the section key, then we can do set state opened equals section key. Alright, and then I guess we need like a list view where each chunk, so let's do widget, I guess it's a widget, and we'll call this like section, and that's going to take in a string key and a widget child. I guess because I have access to that, this could really just be the key. I can call it section key just to be nice and consistent. I think we can return something like container. Actually, let's do column. Makes sense. We're going to have a column of things. And it's going to have children. And then something like, oh yeah, we don't need math. Let's get rid of the stuff we don't need. And we are going to need the buttons components that we just made. Those are in book, no, not in book layout. Not me. Oh, right, drawer. Drawer is got it. So let's grab that. And then we can grab probably this. Then I guess after this would just be widget accordion map. Let me just pass it section key. So that shouldn't be too bad. Now I guess this can really just be a column of sections. Alright, so let's do something like var sections is going to be list, generate, and the size is going to be widget accordion map. Is there a length? Yay! Alright. Although that doesn't help me. Does it? It might. Let's see. This would be where we're going to do the section, and section just needs the key, I guess. So let's just see if we can do a accordion map dot keys. Is there a key? Oh, that's widget. Widget accordion map dot keys index. Let's give that a shot. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Operator isn't found for this type of iterable string. Okay, probably like a 2. Where is there like an at? Let's just see if we do Dart iterable. I'm sure we'll find something. Maybe. So I would like to just get the index of it. Okay, there's element at. Oops. Cool. And then here we'll just return columns, children, sections. Oh, it's just column. And then this would be something like open section key. And then here we also want to slice off that last sentence. So let's do let's say children, and that's going to be for the time being widgets. You know we're always going to have the button. Now we're going to do something like if opened is the same as section key, but spelled better. Jeez. Can we do like children push children dot add? Yeah. Cool. And then on our add, we'll say whatever. Let's go down here. Yeah, whatever's in here. Cool. And this just becomes children. Okay. So if I come over here and we import in the accordion. Let's see, accordion. And we're going to have to pass in let's fix that. We're going to do accordion map. I think I can do it like this. Too many positional arguments. Nope. Okay, I was under the impression that I could do a map like that. So let's just do Dart lang map inline or something like that. Okay, well, we'll open that. I was kind of hoping that there was what language is this? This isn't Dart. This is something else. Is this Dart? Too many positional arguments. 0 expected, but 1 found. I mean, this to me doesn't feel like it's positional. This is oh, it's I think I just need to go with that. Yay! Okay, so we're gonna just do foo r just to see if this works the way I expect. So if we open that up, cool. So we'll need a way to undo that list as well. Alright, so one thing that's for sure is we want Old Testament here and New Testament. We also want to update this text to use section key. It's a little better. I mean, I don't know why that's not occupying the full width off the top of my head. Obviously, column isn't doing the thing I expect. I can't use expanded in there either, so let's see. We want in here, we want a book list. Yeah, I think we can close accordion now. Alright, let's see. See what we got. Alright, so we need a way to reclose these after. So on accordion, we'll say something like opened. If it's already section key, then we know it can be emptied. Otherwise, section key. Cool. Which means we can get rid of these other buttons, but I still need to figure out why that's not taking up the full width. Column. It's just the fact that it's a column inside a column. I could change this to container. Yeah, no, that doesn't do what I want. Let's just do column from widgets. And let's see, I would like so inside a column they do an expanded. I was under the impression this this expanded was like a vertical expanded, but maybe I've gotta use it. So inside sections, so we've got a column, but maybe we do expanded child column. Nope, doesn't like that. In spite of the section being in a column. Let's see. I don't know. I'm probably at the point of being done anyway for the time being, so let's undo this expanded thing. For the time being, just to have green state again. Refresh that, open that up. Oh, we still got the extra buttons in there, so let's also get rid of those. So that's going to be in drawer. Cool. I should probably see if I can validate that these don't have to keep reloading the way that they are. Maybe that's something I need to do in the service though. Okay, so let's record that. Okay, that's not too shabby. Cool. So yeah, that's all I got. So I'm gonna turn off my AC, so hopefully it's at least less background noise. Yeah, that's as far as I got. Hopefully that was fun in some way. Let's just do a little commit here, and let me put up this screen. Yeah, so let's just say, what do we do? So this will be update drawer. And we're going to say group Old and New Testament books together, which means we need an accordion widget. We also added button widgets. Yeah, I think that's sort of it. Let's push that up. Cool. So source code is available on my GitHub, which let me just pop that open here. I think I Flutter Bible. There we go. Mr. Osbury, Flutter Bible app. You can find more of my applications and other things in my directory as well. Whoa. All right, so over here you can find me at my website or on Twitter or on the HyperApp Slack channel. This time we didn't really focus on HyperApp, so I don't know. Maybe don't find me there for Flutter questions. Wow. All right, so over here, if you like what you saw, you can scan this guy for Patreon, and you can scan this guy if you want to support me on GitHub. But don't feel obligated to support me. It's okay. I pay my own bills. However, in the future, this Bible app, I want to use New American Standard. There's a $300 yearly fee, but I'm going to be trying to do with a couple local churches and see if I can get like a love offering to cover that cost, just because I would like to offer this app for free at the end of the day. And to do that, I don't want to have to pay money to give out a free thing. So if I can distribute that cost, or maybe I do like donations or something. I need to negotiate with New American Standard, Lockheed Group, I think is what they're called. Cool. So like, subscribe, follow, whatever the other social media things are. I don't remember off the top of my head. There's so many of them. But do all those to me unless they're bad, in which case don't. Yeah, I don't know, that's all I got. So have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I will be back in 2 weeks, but I'll probably be working on this stuff on my own as well. So 2 weeks, but maybe some others scattered things. We'll see. All right, have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you then.